It looks like if I hit that ball over that little spot and I look, it looks like it's going to miss the hole to the left. It looks like I would go right about here.
Thanks for clicking the video. I'm back here at Superstition Mountain with Mike MALASKA, the air elbow there, Mike.
Okay, there we go.
All right, Mike, so a couple years ago, just with my cell phone at the very end of the day, we did a video about putting that people really liked. But there were some missing elements to that to totally complete the picture, and then there were some things to maybe add additionally to that, and I wanted to get it in a bit better production value. When it comes to putting, what's the most crucial thing?
You know, I've studied putting almost as much as I've studied full swing, because through my career, I was a good lag putter. I made most of my 3-footers, but from say 3 feet to 15, 20 feet relative to the other guys, I didn't make nearly as many putts. Close. Everybody used to say, well, you've got a great stroke, you know, everything's good. I don't know, maybe you misread them. No, I read the putts right. So what was the problem? Well, in my opinion, the most important part of putting is your ability to see line correctly. Your ability to see line overrides what your stroke does or doesn't do, because your ability or inability to see line is what directs what you're going to do with the putter. So your eyes perceive, your brain receives, your body reacts. So what your eyes see is the task or the target line better be the right one, which most people have never practiced it. The line they see isn't right, that's what's happened to me my whole career. They fixed me, supposedly, well intended, but where they moved me made line not look right. So then under pressure, I wouldn't trust what I was looking at. So I would, you get right to the ball and I call it the vomit zone. You know, you get right here and you can just feel that little uneasiness, just enough to mishit it, just enough where you're on the edge instead of in the hole. So what is that? So your stroke can be really good. If you don't see line correctly, you're not going to make a lot of putts.
So the thing that I've heard a lot is that you can have lots of different things about your putting stroke, but the main thing, everybody should be holding a ball above their eyes, let it go, and it should hit the ball where it be. Your eyes should be directly over the line.
Wrong.
True, false? What do you think about that?
Couldn't be worse.
Okay, that's going to be poison for some people.
That's going to be in one of my top 10 worst fundamentals in the history of golf. Get your eyes directly over the line that you're putting on.
Yeah, right.
Hardly anybody on tour is there. They're anywhere from a 1/4 inch to 9 inches inside the line, and anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 9 inches to the left, to the right of the ball.
And I want to put this exactly face on to you, because I think in the other video, one thing that wasn't coming across was not only the in and out of how far you stand from it, but also the depth going this way.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Okay.
So right now what I have here, and this is how I kind of figured this out, and it wasn't me, believe me. There really isn't anything I've figured out. It's been, whether it's golf swing or putting or whatever, it's been somebody has shown me something, and most of it's been from people outside of golf that has, okay, that's why this works. So this was a developmental ophthalmologist that helps me with this. And he came out, and here's what he asked, are you a good putter? I said, well, I putt well, but I don't make as many as I should. Were you ever really good? I said, well, yeah, I was really good when I was a kid. Do you have the putter you used to use? I said, yeah. He goes, get it and meet me out at the golf course. So I come out, and this was the first thing he did to me. So he took a string, and he put a string over the top of the ball straight to this hole on a dead straight putt, which this one is.
Yeah.
And then what he did is I put a little T in the ground right here, which if the center of that string goes over the center of the ball, right over that spot, it goes right straight into the hole. Mm-hmm. So you know that's on line. And then he tapped that down so it wouldn't affect the roll of the ball. The center of that ball goes over the center of that, and that's a straight putt. The ball's going in the hole.
Yeah, I had no choice.
So that is a perfect secondary target. So then here's what he asked me. He said, okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to get set up to the ball. Now at the time he was doing this, I had been trapped into my entire professional career what you just did.
Yep.
Now it wasn't necessarily, they didn't tell me that ball from the bridge of my nose had to hit the ball, but it had to hit right on the target line.
Like a continuation. Yeah.
Continuation. So I had learned, I would set up for hours and I go, okay, that's where my eyes need to be. Now the problem, when I come up here and I set my eyes like over that line and I look at that ball and I look at that spot, it looks like if the ball hit that spot, it looks like I would go right about here.
I'm going to put this right where your eyes are.
If I put my eyes directly over that, it looks like if I hit that ball over that little spot and I look, it looks like it's going to miss the hole to the left.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would end up doing in my stroke is I'd take the putter back and I'd get right here, and that line looked left, so what would I do? I'd push it just a little bit so it would start right center, and I'd catch the lip and spin out.
Because no matter how much you trusted it, you had that little creeping doubt in your head.
See, trust. That's
Right.
a very funny word.
Right, okay.
So trust is based on success, and your subconscious tends to believe what it sees. Remember I said your eyes perceive, your brain receives, your body reacts. So if you're standing over this ball and you track that line and that doesn't look right, when you get right here, your subconscious is going to try to help you because it wants to keep you from harm.
Right.
So it makes a little teeny correction. Well, that little teeny correction, if you've studied putting, a half a degree or a degree off face here, at that distance, you miss the hole. So it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
So his question was, do you have your old putter? I said, yeah. He says, go get it. It was an old bullseye. It was 4 degrees or 3 degrees flat. Where did I stand? Right here. Where are my eyes now?
Well, let me see, Mike, if I take a ball where you are, I'm going to drop a ball right from in between your eyes. Yeah, you're considerably on the inside and back here.
Okay. So this is where I stood when I was a kid. Well, when I stand here, all of a sudden, that ball going over that spot looks like it's in line with the hole. Now, as soon as I made this adjustment, I just about to turn 50 going to the senior tour school. That particular year, I should have made the tour. I finished like 8th. You know, I finished 2nd in the first qualifying, won the 2nd qualifying, and I was in 3rd place or 4th place going into the 6th round of the finals of the tour school, senior tour school. Mm-hmm. That's the hardest tour to make.
Yeah, not a lot of spots.
What happened to me was my putting, my swing was better. I had some understanding of that. But this, as soon as I moved away from the ball and I allowed myself to put my eyes where it looked right for me and putt from there, I started making putts. Because then as I hit a putt, the line looked right so I could commit to it. Mm-hmm. My whole career, I spent with my eyes up here putting on chalk lines and strings and all that. The chalk line actually looked like it was bent. When I would stand here, it didn't look straight. It looked like it had a curve in it.
Yeah, you stand back, and I've seen that before. You stand back here, and you're like, good.
Yeah.
And you stand over here, and you're like, why is it going that way? Yeah.
It looks curved.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the other thing I learned from this. So the ability to see line is critical. So if you look at all the best putters, they're always, they do what they call adjusting. I asked Jack, what's golf? He says, golf's a game of emotion and adjustments. So when Jack putts, what does he do? He picks a spot. Now he gets up there and he goes like this. Here's Jack's putting stroke. And then he goes like this and he sets the putter in and he looks. Now he knows that spot's right. Because that's his whole task, is to hit it over the spot. But if he looks and the spot doesn't look right, what does he do? He moves around, tucks his chin, moves around until the spot goes like that.
Okay, so show that to the camera here until the spot. Yeah.
So he's looking at the ball. Now, if he's looking at the ball and the spot's here and he's trying to putt at you, he's not going. So he adjusts his eyes until this happens, where the ball and the spot and the target line, and as soon as that happens, hits it over his spot, game over.
Right.
Because at that point, if he hits it over his spot, in his mind, he made the putt. So you're standing here and you go, okay, I know that spot's right. So you come up here, and what I do now with everybody is the first thing you set is your eyes.
Right.
So where do my eyes have to be for that spot to look? Well, right there, that spot looks perfect. Now once I've identified what that is, now I set the putter in. Then I set my body up to fit. Then all I do is, boom, hit the ball over that spot. Or if we took the line, I aim the line. I know the line's correct. Mm-hmm. So when I come up here, before I ever put the putter in, Now some guys make practice strokes, which is fine, but you'll see tour players that make practice strokes, they then go like this. They'll go, what are they doing? Well, the putter, they're getting their eyes where the line looks right. And as soon as the line looks perfect right there, now I set the putter in, then I set my body up to fit, and then what am I doing? Roll the line.
Right.
Now, that was a perfect putt. That actually broke a little to the right, but I couldn't have hit that any better.
Yeah, you're also a couple inches off of perfectly straight.
Right.
From what we had.
But my point is, everything lined up. The line looked good, and so I could commit to the line, and then I just rolled the line. If I hit that putt right there, in my mind, I made it. The hole, it doesn't matter, because I saw the line correctly. I rolled the ball. That's a good putt. Whether it goes in or not is not relevant.
If going in is the only measure of success for a 10-foot putt or a 30-foot putt, you're going to have very small amount of success to feed from.
Exactly.
But if just rolling it end over your spot is the measure of success, you can do that 90+% of the time.
We'll see in these tour players, if they stand up and a ball's like this and they line the ball, most all of them use the line now. So if they set the line up and they hit a putt and the line does this, the line wobbles, but the ball goes in the hole.
Still didn't like it.
They'll go, okay, I got lucky. They're not going to be okay with that. They're going straight to the putting green to figure out why the ball isn't rolling. Now, when people say, well, the only thing that's important is the ball going in the hole, I agree with that. However, there's some things you have to be constant with to have that happen more often.
Yep.
One is you better see line correctly, because if you're standing over the ball and you track with your eyes and the line you think you have to putt on isn't the right one, then the only way you make a putt is by mishitting it. If you come up here.
Okay, so I got this thing, there's a reason I'm wearing this thing. So I got this thing on my head and...
But you leave it on your head and let's do this first.
Yep.
Okay, so you know this is right at the hole. Is it at it correctly?
No, not really.
Okay, tell me.
The ball needs to go this way a 1/4 inch. That's totally perfect.
Okay.
From back here,
from back there, you would agree that if that center of the ball goes over the center of that, it's going in the hole.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to cover this so you don't know where it is.
Okay.
Now you come up and just take your normal setup.
Yep.
So once you take your normal setup, now track with your eyes a line straight to the hole and then back to the ball.
Okay.
Okay, now when I move my hand, is that white spot on that line?
No, it's a little too far to the left.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
See, and people say, well, it's a little off. Well, see, a 1/4 inch off here.
Yeah, it's about that far off of what I thought.
4 inches off when you get to the hole.
You're right.
So that spot's got to look perfect.
All right, so how do I calibrate it to, like I saw you moving around to look at, what does that process look like?
Well, when you come up, first of all, before you ever put the putter in, step in with your right foot. Take the putter out of place.
Gotcha.
Step with your right foot and find a spot with your head and your eyes, whether it's behind it, inside of it, whatever it happens to be, where that spot looks like it's aimed.
Okay.
And then once you find it, tell me when you find the spot.
All right. So if the center of the ball goes over the center of that tee, I'm making this putt.
Yeah.
So that's got to look right.
Where is it? Does it look good there?
Hold on a second. Yeah, that looks good there.
Now set the putter in. Set your body up to fit. Ooh, you're trying to move up to it.
You're right. Okay, that'd be about good.
All right, go ahead.
Actually, I gotta move my feet now, huh? Don't I?
Good.
Okay. Yeah, that's
now
good.
roll it over the spot. Perfect.
Yep, went right over the tee.
Okay, now you were a lot further away and a lot further behind the ball than you normally are.
Yeah.
Okay, here's would be my deal. You better get there. And people say, well, now my putter doesn't fit. Get another putter.
Okay, that'll be more important than getting a...
If you can't see line correctly, the chances that you're going to be consistent with making putts is very small. Now, there's some good putters on tour that don't see line really well. But what do? They practice for hundreds of hours a week hitting putts.
Right.
They've learned how to make a compensation and trust it. So there are a few that can get away with that, but the majority can't. And the thing about eyes is your eyes change a little every day. So your eye is fluid, and when the fluid in your eye changes, it changes your depth perception a little bit. So you have to be willing to make little adjustments to make so that the optic of your eye sees the line the same all the time. So I trust my eyes more than I trust the position. Now what I mean by that is I set the line, So I know the line's right.
So this is like, now beyond calibration, this is like on the course how to do it,
This
right?
is on the course.
Yeah.
So I know this is a straight putt. I aim the line so it's aimed right straight at the hole. So now all I'm going to do is I come up here and I actually come in from this angle so it's easy for me to keep the line in play. I don't come over here and come in this way. So this is just easier for me to come in from here. So I come in and the first thing I set is my eyes. Now right there the line looks good. Okay, then I set the putter. Then I set my body to fit. And then all I do is roll the line. And I make putts like crazy now because everything is comfortable and everything looks good.
If somebody's feeling comfortable, they're seeing the line, but it's wobbling, what drill do you have for golfers that where to make it get end over end a little better?
There's only two things that can make the ball wobble.
There's lots of putting stuff as well on MALASKA.com.
Oh yeah, it's a big part of the game.
It's a full game complement of everything Mike has learned throughout many years of golf instruction and playing. And so go to MALASKAGolf.com. There's a special promo code to get a discount off of an intro to that website through this link, which is written in one of these corners. Thanks Mike. Another elbow there.
Thank you, pal.
Well, see you later. Thanks, bye.